Allow no one to get in the way of your freedoms. Allow no one, no corporation, no business, no religion, no government, no friend, no partner, no family member get in the way of your freedoms. Now, we're not just talking about physical freedoms. If you think this world, this construction is the max peak of your existence, then no, you are sadly mistaken. Masters would say we are in the world, not of the world. Why? Because they understand the world is not so. This place that you think is physicality is not so, because it brings forth hates, war, delusion, pains. We understand as God's children, God's child, for we are one. All of us are technically God's child. There's no plural. But for human transcription children, we know that God is love. That's our description of it. So anything of love lets us know that's true. Anything that doesn't feel like what we experience as in love, that can't be true. For God is only love. Okay, so that is our own construction. That is our own miscreation. That's our own doubts and manifestations being explored and manifested. Some masters like Michael Mudra would say manifestation is actually man's infestation. Because people, humanity, always wants to put their hand in something, always wants to control something. Why are you able to just not expect? Why are you able to be so much in this controller energy when the greatest of teachers say the ones who know understand they know nothing? No amount of information or books you can learn on this planet will ever teach you about spirit-based existing, would ever teach you about God. It will only give you a mirror. See, I have a story for you. One day I astral projected. I'm a frequent astral projector. I went to a place that these spirit beings called God's domain. Immense bliss. You walk into the realm, it's like immediate transmutation of all that is of density. You just start immediately crying. You feel so much lighter. Not light as in, light in darkness, but light as in heavy and light. It's like you don't feel so heavy. You know how you eat like starch or, potatoes, you got that heavy stomach feeling? You feel light. Like you can almost fly. You can float. Like a kite or a balloon. You feel peace. You can't even perceive hate. That's why when people will come to me and say God is judgmental, I'm saying, no, you're projecting onto God. Because this place, I understood, oh wow, hate doesn't exist. Judgments doesn't exist. That's why when you try to pray to God and say, God, help me, help me, help me, it doesn't get answered. Your prayers will never get answered if you operate out of a mindset of lack. Why? Because God does not enable lack mindset. God says, you are that which is my abundance. How could you ever need help? Switch those statements up. Instead of saying, God, help me, say, God, guide me to seeing this situation as you would have me see it. And so it is. Now you open up the doors and now you allow God to actually be limitless in your reality. But you must understand, you should know it serves not to allow anyone get in the way of your freedoms. I don't care if people are marketing things to you. I don't care if people are giving you ultimatums. I don't care if your family members are saying you're going to break up the family. If you're in the way of freedom, if you're in the way of getting me to that which is bliss, that which is God's domain, move. I will break up this family 3 times over. Because obviously it's deceit. Obviously it's old traumas and cycles and wounds that's holding this family together. See, a lot of families, for example, when the grandmother or the grandfather transcends, the family kapooies, falls apart. That's something to look at. Look at that, really study that. Why is that so? It's because people have this false sense of security. And the elders, they live their life. They need not. You have some that, are still trying to operate within the world, but a lot of them, a lot of the stable ones, the actual elders that are operating out of love and guidance and teaching and wanting to hold the family together, they're operating purely off of love. They have nothing to gain from it besides smiles and laughter. That's selflessness. That's being God's will embodied. You have that, and when that goes away, people don't learn from it. They don't say, let me put on this mantle or let me build upon these steps that this family member of mine created. They say, well, it's gone, it's gone. What was gone is gone. What happened to family reunions? What happened to wellness checks? What happened to just leading by example even if the family won't get together? See, you have to really stand in a position to where you can truly say, I'm going to be so much of oneness. When I go back home, everyone shall go home with me. There's a saying, it's a verse, I think it's John 14:12, where Yeshua literally says, what you experience in your day-to-day life, what you've seen me experience in your day-to-day life, you will experience that too. You would do far more greater things than I've ever experienced. Your experience shall be on such a level that will essentially rival what I have experienced or what I have presented. You shall do what I did and more. You truly have to anchor the fact that if a being of that caliber says you're going to do greater things than it, really pay attention to it. See, a lot of religions, they have multiple prophets that say the exact same thing. You're going to do what I do and more. But they skip over those verses because they don't want responsibility. I don't care if the Christ, or I don't care if the Buddha, I don't care if this person, that person, this person, that person. I don't care if this prophet. I don't care if they say I want to do what they did and more. No, I just want to follow them. I just want to be a sheep. I just want to be a follower. How do you ever expect to have control of your life, such controller? People want to control so much, but the actual path to controlling your life you don't want to walk. Make that make sense. Start becoming God's will embodied. How do you do this? Well, step one is stop being a dickhead. Stop arguing with so much people. Stop enabling lack mindset. Learn how to walk away. Learn how to ignore algorithms that bring forth what we call ratchet activity. Ignore fights on your algorithm. Stop commenting on things that you know is sucking your energy dry. Do these steps. They're small steps. And I promise you, your entire life will change just by doing those small things. Because a lot of you are masters. A lot of you are on the precipice of realizing all that is, all there is. A lot of you are literally right there on the edge. And all we're saying is just jump. Because there is no endless hurting pit. You jump, you're good, you're gone, you're out of here. You've evolved. But it's the attachments to this world. It's the desire to come back. See, when Buddha was talking about desire, he wasn't talking about, sexual desire. He wasn't looking at it from an ego perspective. He was saying your desire to even incarnate is the issue. You have such a desire to come back on this planet. That's the issue. Release that and everything gets released. You release your desire to come back to Earth, to incarnate in density. You release sexual issues. You relieve domestic issues. You release all issues. Financial issues. Everything is gone. Because you said, it served its purpose. I'm grateful that I went through it. I'm done. That's why in the text, people would say that Yeshua's last words was, it is done. It is done. Why is he saying it? I'm not coming back here, baby. It's done. It's over with. I've completed the mission. Look, this is how powerful you are. If you have such certainty and knowingness, even if your mission wasn't completed, if you have certainty in it is done, everyone is going to be like, all right, God's child. He said it's done, it's done. She said it's done, it's done. You are that powerful. Start operating out of that frequency now. If you're interested in booking a one-on-one session with me, click that link in the bio. And if you're interested in joining our mystery school, also click the link in the bio. But before you do, DM me and I'll give you our free 3-day course. Because if you aren't willing to integrate at least 3 days with God, why are you trying to join a mystery school? With that, we say welcome home.